Hey everybody, and welcome to Meals with Melissa, where we come up with great options and recipes that work for you. Some of the things that you like to eat, healthier versions of that. So now a little bit of apology this morning. We had a little bit of technical glitch here. Notice that I'm in a different kitchen, but we're gonna make it work. So today we are making toasted brown rice with mushroom and thyme. Now, if you think that rice is boring, got to come up with a recipe. And this one is super simple. So we're gonna get started. I've got some already cooking on here because I want to show you the finished product, but we're going to show you right from the get-go. It's super simple. It just takes a couple extra minutes because you're going to toast the rice. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of olive oil to a pan. Now you can measure this out, but honestly, yeah, I'm just going to guesstimate just a smidge because I've been doing this long enough. Okay, you're going to heat that up. I'm going to start with a half of a chopped yellow onion. Okay, I've already got that ready to go. And you're going to saute that in order for it to become, it's a little soft, right? Just a couple of minutes. Now this is the part that takes the longest. Once you add the rice, it's just gonna soak and cook, and you can let it sit for a little bit. All right, so we're gonna cook that just around in the oil. Let it soften just a little bit. Just for a couple of minutes, and then we're gonna add a little bit of garlic. Now you can use some fresh garlic and you can mince it yourself, but you know what? I'm gonna do things that make it a little more simple, and because I already have it in my house. All right. So once that starts to cook down just a little bit, I'm gonna add about, it says two minced garlic cloves. Again, I'm just gonna use about a teaspoon and a half. I like garlic, so if I mess it up, I'm okay with that. It's okay if it tastes a little bit more. All right, so we're gonna add that to it. Give that just a minute. Now this is kind of a two-step process because once the rice starts cooking, we're gonna actually add some sauteed mushrooms in another pan and then add it to the finished product. It's gonna taste great. Now, I don't know about you, but a lot of times it's hard to pick sides for your main proteins. This is a great option, it tastes good, and you can eat it for a week, right? Make it all in advance, keep going. One of the biggest issues with people is they say, I don't have time to cook. I don't either, right? I'm busy, I've got stuff all day, every day. So if you cook in advance in food prep, it's not just for bodybuilders, right? It's for those of us that wanna have a life and wanna eat healthy and have to be able to bring something with you. And look, if you already take lunch to work, you already food prep, right? It just makes it easy when you have it ready to go, and it's a healthy option. All right, so to this I'm gonna add my little bit of garlic because it smells good. Might add a little extra there. All right. So we're gonna let that cook for a second. Meanwhile, I've got some rice ready to go. Now there's lots of different types of rice that I like at my house. We do a lot of jasmine rice, and we do buy it in the big packages at Costco because we go through it so much. But we're gonna use the short grain brown rice that I buy at Costco. That was my initial purchase when I started eating a lot more rice. Now, if you are diabetic, if you need to do a little more low carb, this might not be a great option for you. It might not be a great recipe for you, or you might wanna go with something more like quinoa. But for today, we're gonna use that short grain brown rice. It just makes it a yummy side to whatever it is, like maybe steak. Great option for me. All right, so we're gonna let that cook down just for a minute. Turning up the stove. All right, so instead of adding the rice to boiling water, we're gonna do this a little bit different. Okay, so we're actually gonna add the dry rice to the skillet itself, and we're gonna actually toast it in the olive oil. So let me get this ready. I'm gonna do about a cup. And of course, regular rice is a cup to 2 cups of liquids, right? And we're gonna do exactly that. So I'm gonna add a little bit of the brown rice. Still gonna give the onions and the garlic just a second to cook down. All right. Get that going. Turn it up just a little bit more. And this is why I like a glass top. Or it would be nice to have natural gas, right? Okay. So get that cooking up, it's gonna smell good. Okay, so again, you're gonna add the dry brown rice and you're gonna actually cook it in the olive oil for just about a minute. You wanna stir constantly, okay? So I'm gonna add this to it. All right, again, you wanna stir it constantly so that it doesn't overcook and burn. Now, if you need to add a little bit more oil, olive oil to it, that's great. We use the olive oil is I can't even talk today. Extra virgin olive oil, which works great. We buy it in bulk, obviously, because we use a lot of it. All right, so we're gonna toast this for about a minute. Now I have one already cooking here, so I'm gonna check back on that just for a second to make sure I don't overcook it. And actually it looks about perfect, which I'll show you what we're gonna do with that in just a minute. All right, move this over. All right. I'll finish showing you how to make this, and then I will show you what we're gonna add to this in just a sec. Yep, that's perfect. All right, good to go on the one that's already cooked. All right, so as we stir this, we're gonna get ready and add a cup of vegetable broth and a cup of water, and that's gonna be your liquids in order to simmer this and cook it until it is all absorbed and it's nice and fluffy. Okay. So again, to this I'm gonna add a cup of vegetable broth, and I just grabbed a big one at the store, and a cup of water, and I'm gonna let that actually cook for about 35 minutes. I'm gonna let it boil, turn it down to low, let it simmer, and that way it will fluff up and do its job. All right, so you can see that I've already got one done. Okay, now we got one more step, one more. All right. So since I've already cooked this and I don't have enough pans today, I'm actually gonna dump this for just a sec, and then I'll come back and show you the last step with the mushrooms. All right, coming back. All right, so starting again, I'm gonna have a clean pan. All right, to that I'm gonna add a little bit of olive oil, because again, we're sauteing. Okay, and I'm gonna add 8 ounces of, and I'm not saying this right, I'm sure, Crimini mushrooms. I don't know if that's how you say it, but that's what we're gonna do. Okay, so add a little bit of oil, turn it back on, medium heat. You just wanna get it so that it heats up and it cooks it down, but it doesn't actually burn anything. All right, so they're already sliced, so I don't even have to do that. How great is that? Not that I'm lazy, but you know, anything that makes it easier. All right, so I'm gonna add that to my pan. It's gonna smell so good. Who wants plain, boring white rice anymore? We have other options. All right, a few of these could be sliced a little bit more, but I'm not gonna worry about that for now. All right. Now, as a kid, I hated mushrooms on pizza. I just didn't like the texture. I've always been a texture person, but these days, I think mushrooms are awesome, and I love them in everything, especially on steak. All right, here we go. So I'm gonna cook those down just for a little bit, couple minutes here. So to that, I'm gonna add some fresh herbs. Now, one of the benefits of fresh herbs is that it makes everything smell good. Now, if you don't have that, you can always add some dry. If you have some seasonings at home, that's fine. I usually use what I have, but today I decided to add some fresh ones. Oh, Lynette's popping up saying she loves fried rice. Yeah, absolutely. Well, why not? If you're using the right ingredients, it doesn't have to be bad for you. That's the great thing. All right, so we're gonna cook that down. Now, I've already chopped up some fresh parsley and some fresh thyme. So they're ready to go, and that will be my final stages, adding to my little recipe here, making sure I've got everything else. Mushrooms. Yeah, we're doing great. Okay. So I'm gonna cook these down for a minute. Perfect, and it's gonna take 4 to 5 minutes, right? So to that, I'm also gonna add those fresh herbs, and it's gonna make it smell great, and then we're gonna add it to the rice, and that's it. That's all you have to do. Now, personally, I would like to serve this warm, because I think it would taste the best, but there's no reason why you can't package it up and have it ready so you can take it with you to work tomorrow. All right, I'm gonna show you the herbs just really quick. I probably finished this off camera. So we've got some parsley and some thyme. And again, if you don't have any fresh, you can get it at the store. It's usually in the produce section, in the refrigerated section. So look for it. Add this here. I will take a picture so you can see what it looks like done. I think you've got the gist of it. So again, if you're bored with your food, listen, you can have all those things that you love to eat. You just have to have healthier versions of it. That's why we do this. If you like cookies, I got some great recipes on there. Go back to my YouTube channel. You can actually see every Facebook Live that I've ever done, Meals with Melissa, Q&A Wednesday. Be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so whenever something new pops up, that you know it's there. Because this is a community. We're trying to help each other be happy and healthy. So have an incredible weekend. Happy Halloween, everybody. And I will send a picture so you can see what it looks like when it's done. Have a great one.